Hey guys, welcome back to The Horror with your hostess with the most Jennifer, as always. Welcome back. So we're doing the last official studio film of the Friday the 13th franchise, and that is the dreaded 2009 Friday the 13th remake. Now I know that there are people out there who really enjoy this remake, really liked what they did with this remake. I know I've done a review on this a couple of times. Um, I still hate it. I really do. I mean, I'll get this out there right now. I'll give this movie credit for some of the kills it has. It does have some pretty good kills. Like the one guy the African American guy, the black guy who went out to investigate the noise. That was a pretty good kill. The Asian guy, God, this was a pretty ethnic movie, wasn't it? The Asian guy who got killed, that was a pretty good kill and everything. But really beyond that for me, this movie just kind of fell flat in so many ways. In so many ways. I don't even know where to start from here now. I really don't. But no, this came out in 2009, like I said. It was a Paramount Platinum Dunes release and everything. And I feel like Platinum Dunes just never really quite does remakes that well. I don't know. Whatever though. Whatever. But no, let's get started. So obviously this isn't one where it's not doing a retelling of the first one. We all know they kind of drew inspiration from parts 1 through 4 and everything. Which I mean, it's not a bad idea because I feel like the first 4 definitely are probably some of the best ones. Even with like number 3, even though that's not really necessarily one of my personal favorites, it's still like a pretty good one. It makes sense and everything. But honestly, I kind of wish they would have done a straight up remake of the first one. I mean, even though, I know their justification of like, well, it's kind of pointless. We all know it's Miss Voorhees, the killer of the first one, blah, blah, blah. Jason's franchise. I mean, I get that. I respect that, but um sorry, I am so just like this is going to prove to you guys my love for you guys, because this is like the third time I'm reviewing this movie for you guys, and it's killing me. It's killing me, but I'm doing it for you guys. But no, let's go ahead and talk about Mrs. Voorhees. She's only in it for like more like flashbacks to someone that I don't even know, like whatever. I mean, I get why they have like the flashbacks in there and everything to kind of show what goes on. But the way that they portrayed Mrs. Voorhees, I just felt like in this version, she's just kind of like very flaky. I just not as strong of a character as Betsy Palmer portrayed her and everything. Maybe too, since they were just kind of like, well, we're just going to kind of use these scenes for like a couple of like scenes or whatever, like don't really worry about it. But no, there was just something very watered down about her. I really didn't like it. And I guess apparently Jason kind of was watching, so that it kind of answered that question a little bit. But I kind of wish, in a way, like if they were going to do that, because I kind of did have this thought as I was sort of rewatching it a little bit ago that maybe thank God they didn't do this, because I think they would have like effed this up even more if they did it this way. But I think something that would have been interesting to see is for this remake is to have Mrs. Voorhees as like the killer, but maybe also kind of showing like Jason's still around, like because I know that's one of those things where especially with the ending of the very first one with Jason jumping out of the water and it's supposed to be a dream sequence and everything. I think I even kind of stated like, well, yeah, I know it's supposed to be a dream sequence. Maybe you can kind of see it as it kind of did happen, but everyone's kind of trying to like shun it away or trying to repress this memory for Alice. But I think that they maybe could have had like Miss Voorhees in it trying to avenge like what was supposed to be her son's death and everything, but lo and behold, like, Jason's maybe still is alive, but she's like keeping him hidden away because just, she doesn't want him to suffer anymore or be picked on anymore. So she's trying to like shelter him in a lot of ways. I think that would have been kind of an interesting aspect to go through and, kind of see her going around killing everyone. And then, she still ends up, getting her head chopped off. Jason sees it, sees kind of like the carnage before all this happened of, his mom going around killing everyone. Therefore, we then have, Jason's character kind of taking on the torch and revenging his mom's death. I think, if they could have done that right, I think that would have been a more interesting story, especially after all these years of all of us being like, where the hell did Jason show up from? I thought he was dead. Like, what the hell? I think that would have been an interesting thing, plus too, to kind of answer that whole, like, debates at the end of part one and everything to maybe, because I know this is supposed to be like a remake, it's supposed to be like its own entity, but, especially if you're going to be going for 1 through 4, kind of loosely basing the movie on those installments, go for that idea. Go for the first idea I just had. I'm just saying. But anyway, and then to the, after we cut to like modern day and everything, we've got a bunch of kids hiking in the woods, trying to find this, batch of pot that's growing out there because, I mean, why not? They're trying to make a little bit of money and everything, whatever. But the thing is like, one of the kids was literally retelling the same story that Ginny was saying in the bar in part 2. I never really noticed that until I was watching it a little bit ago. And I was like, that's literally the same thing that Ginny was saying. Basically the same description and everything. Once again, I think, that could have been, perfectly tied in with the idea I was just saying of, like, maybe Jason did survive. They could have had that storyline aspect. But like I said, I know that idea, I think, would have probably angered a lot more fans, even more so than they are now. But whatever. Whatever, whatever. And in this movie, I feel like, I know I've seen a few people who do actually really enjoy this movie say, this one really kind of brought it to where it shows Jason more as a survivalist and everything, which, I mean, I give him credit for that. It definitely is. One thing, though, that I'm just like, one little thing that I really have issues with is at the beginning with like the first batch of kids is that freaking bear trap. When the hell has Jason ever used a bear trap? I mean, even though I know like the circular saw blade and everything in part 7, I know some people were like, where the hell did that come from? But that still made more sense than a goddamn bear trap. What the freak? Really? Really? I really don't think Jason would set up a bear trap just for his own safety. I'm just saying, trying to chase after a kid or something, kid misses it, and he accidentally accepts it. I don't see Jason using a bear trap ever. I'm just saying, what the fuck, Platinum Dudes? I'm blaming you on that one, not Paramount. No, I'm still going to blame Paramount for that one. Whatever. But yeah, no, it just, that for some reason just seems so kind of out of place. I mean, like I said, I know it kind of fits in with his, like, survivalist type of angle in this one, but just kind of overall as, like, part of the franchise, it doesn't really make sense to me. It really doesn't. I know it's, like, really nitpicking of me to be kind of, like, going after that, but it just seems very, very out of place. Another thing that kind of really irritates me is the second sex scene that we have in here. The one with like the blonde guy who's supposed to be dating me, Jenna. Hello, and then he's all banging some other girl. But no, that sex scene. And I'm like, I do not mind sex scenes at all. This was very much part of the entire Friday the 13th franchise, you know, teenagers canoodling and like premarital sex and blah, 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 and getting pregos and everything and doing drugs. But that sex scene, just like, God, it went on forever. It wasn't that great of a sex scene. I'm sorry, it wasn't. Like, that girl had nice tits, I'll be honest. But it wasn't that good of a sex scene. It really wasn't. It was obnoxiously long. Although the guy, though, dude, going back to like the death scenes, that guy actually did have a pretty satisfying death. He did. You know, in the cast, I think I even said it too in my previous reviews of this movie. I could not stand anyone in this cast, and I'm glad that they all pretty much died. I really wish the brother and sister combo would have died too, because I mean, they're morons, honestly. Oh, the brother, though, the brother who's searching for his sister, they wrote him a little bit better in this one, because I know one of my gripes about part 4 with the same character is that it seemed like he was hunting down Jason for, like, a pretty good chunk of time. In reality, it was, like, he was hunting him for, like, a day. In this one, they definitely fixed that where he was searching for like, what, like a month and a half, 2 months or something, like somewhere around there where it actually was a bigger chunk of time, so it made more sense and everything. And I know that guy's from like Supernatural or something. I don't even know, because like I said yesterday or whenever I did my Q&A video, I don't keep up with TV. He's a little cutie though. Whatever. But anyway, but no, I do like that they updated him a little bit, you know, kind of corrected it a little bit and everything. So, kind of got a couple little perks in this one. Whatever, man. It's not a total backflash. God, what else is there? Oh, Jason. So, once again, I give him credit for using both the bag and the hockey mask. Very appropriate, because I feel like there are fans of both masks, so they were definitely trying to kind of, you know, show some love for both masks and everything. The retrieval of the hockey mask, though, I'm sorry, but that pothead hick farmer or whatever, I'm sorry, I don't find it believable that he's going to be having a hockey mask. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I find it more believable that he did stumble upon that bushel of weed and is trying to sell it. That's more believable to me. Having a little hockey mask, I'm just saying, doesn't really, I'm not buying it. I'm really not buying it. It just, I don't know, this whole movie, it just, like I said, I know there are people who really enjoy this movie, really enjoy this remake. I respect that. I kind of do see why people enjoy this remake. For me, though, it was just all sort of wrong. It just felt like another sequel to me in a lot of ways. It really did. You know, I think they could have done quite a few different things, or maybe even if instead of a remake, we should have gotten like maybe a prequel or something, or maybe like what happened in between the 5 years from like the first one and the second one. But it just, to me, I feel like this was not very, very well done. I don't know. That's just me, though. Like I said, I know there are people who really enjoy this movie, really enjoy this installment. Everything about it almost is just, hopefully this is the last time I ever have to watch this movie, because I just feel like I've had to watch it. I literally, since starting my channel, I've watched it 3 times, and that is way too fucking much. Way too freaking much. But that is the love I have for you guys, so. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for letting me do this franchise. There is still one more movie that I'm doing in the franchise. I will be reviewing the fan film Let me see if I can pull it up right now, because I don't think I was calling it the right thing. Actually, no, I wasn't calling it the correct title. But then this way, for those of you who have not seen it, Never Hike Alone. Never Hike Alone, a Friday 13th fan film. So it is about 53 minutes, almost 54 minutes. Got in my little playlist here and everything, so I will be watching that. Hopefully we'll get that review up, or at least record it this weekend so I can get it up next week sometime. But thank you guys so much. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.